Hey guys, I'm Brad with B3 Customs, and today I'm going to be walking you through a GX470 light kit installation. So let's take a look at what's included in your kit. Of course, you get a sticker, a QR code that will take you to this install video, a 3D printed switch housing, your lights, and your wiring harness. Here are the tools necessary for installation: a Phillips head, 14mm socket, trim tools, some electrical tape, something to feed your wire through the loom, a pair of dikes, and some WD-40. We like to use dry lube, and an impact makes everything super easy. First things first, let's go and remove this bottom panel. What you're gonna do, pop off this little cover pieces, like so. Use your Phillips head, remove the screws. Do this on the other 4 screws. We have all these screws out, go and use a trim tool, pop this up. Around. All right, so if you have a white only light kit, you do not need to touch this 3rd row seatbelt assembly. If you do, follow along with these steps. Next up, we're going to remove the seat belt. So use your trim tool, pop it out here, move this. And now to install this 3D printed piece, we do have to trim part of the plastic or fiberglass. And also we're going to have to remove this bolt. So we're going to use our dikes and trim about right here. Be sure to leave some meat for the clip. So when cutting, be sure to cut a little less than you think. You can always cut more, but be sure to leave enough for this clip to go in there. Kind of work your way around. Now we're going to remove this dome light and seat belt. So on the back of here, there's a little detents. Get your trim tool in there. Pop that down. And now we're going to take our fingers, push this clip in and pop down. And go and do this to the other side. In and down. Get those released, it might get caught a little bit, and just work your way down. So go and unplug this. So push this clip, move it aside. Now seat belt should just pop right off. Like so. Now we're gonna work on getting this clip out. So I like to use little forks, sneak it under here, work your way around. Careful not to break the clip. Now you got this out, should allow your headliner to have a little more play. So now we're gonna work on getting this panel out. So again, trim tool, sneak it in here, pop out your clips. Go and do the other side while we're here. Sneak it behind here, pop out your clips. Now you have a little more room to play with. Now that we pop some of these out, let's work our way down. Same thing, trim tool on the side. Pop out these clips. Work your way around. That should free up some of this. You got a little more playroom now to feed your wire through there. We have some of this cut. We can go and pull back this trim, sneak in there with the impact, and take out your bolt. Let's go and work on this bottom one. Comes right out. Pop out here, and we can start cleaning this up. So now that we removed these 2 bolts, we're going to come back to the seatbelt assembly, peel back this plastic, remove that. You should be able to pull everything straight out. To feed this through here, turn it sideways, and start working your way through. That way, nothing will be rattling behind the plastics. How to prep for the wiring harness, let's continue removing this rear panel. First things first, going to remove these little trim pieces. So pop this up, do this on the bottom one as well. And then feed these back through. Twist this, take your toolbox, lift it up and out. Set that aside. Then you can sneak your trim tool right in here. Use your fingers to pry, hold the door open, and work your way around the plastics. To fully remove this panel, we're going to take this clip, pop it out, and bring it down. Bring this on the other side. Pop it out, and bring this out and down. And set this aside. So here's a little rundown of your harness. You have your power hookup. That'll go into your factory dome light. This is optional if you have a red and white light kit. The white light kits will not have this. This is your three-way switch. And then you will have your light plugs. All right, first things first, we're gonna feed this wire right through this dome light hole. Tuck this through right here. And then we're gonna start routing our shorter 2 wires for the LED strips to each window. So you're gonna pull this down and start feeding it through here. Try to get over to the other side and grab it. Take a second to find it. Let's pull it straight through. And do this on the other side as well. All right, now that we have the short wires running to the windows, if you have a dual color light kit, we're gonna feed this wire through here and coming out the seat belt. So we're gonna pull this through and then tuck this up. Feed it in. Now we're gonna work on feeding our rear wire through this loom and coming up to the top of the window. So start routing this wire down the side. So start tucking it in. And on the side, right, like so. And now we're going to feed our clothes hanger through this loom. So let's peel back this. Now we have access to this wire loom. Now we're going to push down on this shroud and start working your way out. Work that way around, like so. And do the same thing up here. Go down and out. Take a second. Now we're gonna take our box knife, put a little top slit in the top portion of this grommet. Careful not to cut any of the wires. So we're gonna kind of cut to the side, like so. You can always make it bigger. Just be pretty moderate with it. Got a nice little slit. Now we're gonna take our clothes hanger and feed it through this wire loom. So now that we got this clothes hanger through, go ahead and pull out some slack. Let's go ahead and feed this zip tie through here. Now we're going to use our little tape method here, so overlap them like so. Run the tape around both of these. Protect the connector. Should be good. And go ahead and start pulling it through. Might take some persuasion to get it where you want. And here we are. Now we're going to do our tape method. Just wrap it around a couple times. It's always good to be generous so you don't lose your clip in there, lose your progress. I like to protect the connector with a couple layers. Throw some, get close, slide some lubricant on there. Throw in the loom, throw it up, start pulling it through. Help it get started. Just pull it right through. Go and pull out your slack. Now we're going to tuck our wire through this sheet metal. Pull out your slack. You're going to route it up here. You're going to pop out this trim piece. So you just pull straight out, work your way up. Now this is free. This pulled through. You're going to route this through this little connector. It kind of stays tucked up out of the way. Maybe even under, feeling crazy. Okay, it all stays sucked up. And now we're going to pull this back, tuck it right under, and now you are prepped for your LED lights. We have all these wires prepped and ran. Let's go on and work on the lights. So first, got the zip tie, and you will find 2 identically sized strips. These are for the windows and 1 long one. So let's start with the long one. I like to turn it on a heat gun to warm up the plastic so it's not as curled and it gets more relaxed. So what you're gonna do is turn this on and just go through here, heat it up. Careful not to burn through it. And just work your way through. So now we're gonna line this up, plug on the left side, start sticking it up there. Make sure everything's nice and straight. Apply firm pressure. Now let's go and work on the windows. Now we're gonna do the same thing after we heat this up. Peel off the sticky tape. Like so. And with the plug facing the rear, get it centered in the window. And apply firm pressure all the way through. Repeat this on the other side. Now we have all the lights, let's go and plug them all in. So pull it wherever you want. Plug it in, and you can come back and tuck it later. Let's do the windows now. So tuck away your slack. Might have to pull it from the top. But for now, let's just plug this in, make sure they all work. Pull out your slack. Plug in your strip. If you have a dual color light kit, here's how your switch will be wired in. Flip it over, yellow to the far left, black to the middle, and red to the right. So when plugging in your power source, you're gonna put red on the side of the switch. You're just gonna feed that in, puts in just like that. We have this hooked up, go and plug it in. The light should turn on. Adjust your colors. All the lights are turning on. So now that we know all the lights work, you go ahead and start pulling out your slack. Make sure everything looks pretty. And you can start working on tucking your wires up. Everything nice and finished, and start working on tucking your trim. Got all your clips lined up. Work your way around. Pop this out, tuck it up, pop this back in. We're gonna pop in this grommet and start working your way around. Do all sides of it. That's nice and seated. And do the other side. Just work your way around. And there we are. So this wire may be getting in the way. Just make sure you tuck it out of the way for these. Now we're gonna feed these clips through here. Just look at the top one. Bottom one. Now we're going to reverse our process. Start working our way around. For the switch, make sure all these covers are on there. Now we can start feeding this wire in there. And it's going to pivot from the bottom and snap in. Just like so. So now we know everything's working. Let's go and unplug this again. So detent tab right here. Do this plug. Now we're going to be removing this casing. So we're gonna take our box knife, these little detent things right here, push this in, both sides. It should come right out. Let me miss this one. Just like so. Now we can route our wire up through the top. Just like so. I'm gonna plug this back in. Plug in your light. So if you have difficulty tucking your wire, we're gonna go and pop out this white piece, pull it out, and now you bring all your harness bunch over to the right into this void. So now everything just off-centered. Now you come back, start tucking everything up, put in your clip, line it up, push it in, line up this again, tuck your wire out of the way, dome light routed up there. Like so. Throw our cover back on there. Good to go. All right, so for your last step, about time, we're gonna throw this back on here. Line up all your clips. Take a look at it. Got all the screws set in there. That concludes our GX470 installation. Please feel free to reach out if you have any more questions, and thank you so much for the support.